Welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. I decided we're going to camp for real. We're going to talk with everybody. Hey, Karlach.
Why are we slowing down?
This isn't where I thought I'd end up. How about you?
Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
I'd be in the middle of another adventure, blessedly free of any tadpole.
I can picture you getting mixed up in some outrageous shit. Giants, beholders, Thayans, the works. Maybe once we've wrapped up the current shenanigans, we'll rest a bit and find some new heap of troubles to throw ourselves at.
Fair enough.
Hey,
In your expert opinion, what's the best way to kill a devil?
Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Fair enough. I'd like to hear how you end up fighting in the Blood War.
Why not? Let me see if I can paint you a picture. The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. The two of them conspired to give me a little gift. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down.
You have a mechanic for your heart?
Wild, right? And believe it or not, I'm one of Zariel's least mutilated pets. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him.
Oh, there are some tieflings in the Druid's Grove nearby. We might look there.
Sounds like a good lead. Hopefully our guy will be among them. A tune-up would do this old tub a world of good. What's the story?
Now that those paladins are out of your way, what's next on your agenda?
First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic round here, right?
Oh yeah, we promised to do that. What does that infernal engine do to you?
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
You must be pent up.
I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today. What can I do you for?
Alright, you got nothing else to say right now. That's fair. Shadowheart.
Karlach and Wyll seem to have put their differences aside. I thought it was going to come to blows for a moment.
Me too, honestly. I want to talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up?
I must admit, you've been a surprise. And not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you
Who's
saved my
that?
life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
Fair enough. Thank you. That's still the same thing you said before, though. Okay. This is DLC items. I knew they existed, I forgot where they were. But I found them now. Drake General. I should look up and see what... I should check what that color is. Maybe off camera. Cape of the Red Prince. That doesn't match the rest of my color scheme. Wyll. You can also have this hat. You wear red.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Alright, we have another hat.
Hey, good looking.
Karlach, you want this other hat? But like, invisibly?
Make haste. I would have words with you.
I don't want to see it, but I want you to have it.
No time to rest.
Astarion.
I thought we were going to see some real sparks fly between Wyll and Karlach. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
Fair. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Okay. Lae'zel.
Karlach's got the brawn of a warrior and the wiles of a survivor. Best of all, she speaks her mind plainly and fully. Show her due respect.
Okay. I think I do. Are you sure a creche is our only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithist purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
That kind of wisdom is very valuable.
Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
Do you know much about mind flayers?
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Do you know what happens if we don't find a cure?
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore, and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born.
That's not going to happen. We will find a cure.
Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that.
Fair enough.
The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me.
You're worried that we haven't changed? This is good news, though confusing news.
Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises.
Fair enough.
Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts.
I expect I am your first.
I know of Githyanki, but I've never met one.
Of course you haven't. They would have cut you from navel to neck. You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
Really? Thanks for noticing.
It was an observation, not a compliment. No matter. I do not intend to stay long in this place.
Is it me, or have you been looking at me differently?
I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you. I thought you witless, gutless, unimpressively bland.
Can I assume a compliment is incoming?
I don't pay compliments. I only say what is true. You've proven me wrong at every turn. You are efficient, dominant, courageous. I swear, you would tear the horns off one dragon for plunging into another. You've gained my respect, and more still, my yearning. When I come near, your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hairs stand on end.
Okay. Hold on. Are you coming on to me?
Isn't it obvious? I want to taste you. Perhaps tonight, perhaps later, but I want it all the same.
Okay.
Do you?
I poked at things I shouldn't have poked at. Because, if I'm honest, Lae'zel's one of my favorite companions, but because of that, I am trying to not use her as much as I always use her in this playthrough. So, but I don't want to be mean, but I also... Fine, sure, yes.
Perhaps one night soon, I will come to your bunk and take what is mine.
Okay.
Until that night comes, I shall keep enjoying your scent.
That's nice. I'm going over here. Hey, Wyll, I like your cool hat.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
I don't suppose you've come across an expert healer in your travels.
I've come to know a fair few village clerics, but none with the skill to pull these worms from our heads. From what I understand, there's a healer called Nettie in the Grove. Perhaps she's got the talent. We should pay her a visit.
Okay. Tell me, Wyll, how did you come to be the Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
Whatever became of the boy, I wonder?
I left him with his uncles. 5 years on, and he's flourishing. If only every child was so lucky. I mourn the ones I could never save, whose cries I never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The Frontiers demanded a blade, And so I heeded.
It's nice to finally put a face to the name.
And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm wriggling in my skull didn't instill much confidence in the days ahead. With you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting.
I've noticed your stone eye.
Vicious one, in fact.
Do you want to talk about it now?
But that story is reserved for lifetime.
Tiny groove spider.
Sending.
His breathing quickens. A strange sensation courses through you.
Alright, let's change the subject. I don't want to poke at it. Alright, leave. Gale. Hello.
A devil and devil hunter standing shoulder to shoulder against a common enemy. Rather poetic, I think.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, city of splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
Don't stop there. You must have many stories to tell about your adventures as an archmage.
Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
Try peering into his mind. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Especially if I crit fail. Use an inspiration. We're trying one more time. No, it's not worth it. Will it just not know things then?
Try as you might to breach his inner thoughts, Gale swats your efforts away with infuriating ease.
I have a very disciplined mind. Those tricks won't work on me. Please don't try that again unless I invite you to.
Alright. Do you want to talk about something else?
How can I help?
No. Okay. Then I guess it's bedtime? Sure. Might as well. Oh, you want to talk to me still, Withers? Alright, what's up?
We meet again, as predicted.
Yeah.
I shall be here in thy camp, for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Like what? Okay, not to be rude, but what are you?
There are many answers to that question. None are important.
Focus on the divine energy you feel from his presence. I don't know that this is going to be a successful thing, but we're going to try. Oh, that was actually a good roll, but no. Not enough.
There is a great divine energy indeed, but the source is unclear.
You were sorting something before. What were you doing?
Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
Fair enough. Do you think I can trust these cultists?
Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake.
Fair enough. Will the hirelings be joining me willingly?
Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them.
Alright. Impressive. Any other ways you can help us?
Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more.
That's incredibly powerful magic. Why is it so easy for you?
Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain.
Okay. You mentioned a cost. What is it?
A matter of coin.
Fair enough. Can you help me change my class?
No. Thy coin purse is near empty.
Okay, fair enough. Then leave. Okay, bye. Good night. Where'd my clothes go? I didn't take them back.
Hellfire. She's coming.
I forgot to take my clothes back from Karlach.
Wyll, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
God damn it. Anyone but her.
Just who in the nine hells are you?
Wyll, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Wyll's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Wyll. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
You better not lay a finger on Karlach.
Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Wyll burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Me?
Oh, and Wyll, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna get my clothes back. Where's my clothes? Karlach still has them in theory. Where's my clothes? Destitute clothes, homely clothes. It was these ones. Right? Or these ones? These ones. I don't think these are the same ones I had before, but I like them better, so they're the ones I'm wearing now. And Tamer's Delight, or Tanner's Delight, or Tasteful Boots. Okay, I am clothed now. basically everybody wants to talk to me, but too bad I'm ending the episode because I just realized it went on way too long. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had fun. I know I did. Bye bye!